Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. The British Broadcasting Corporation or BBC apologizes for editing Donald Trump's speech in a documentary, calls it an error of judgment. President Draupadi Murmu addresses the Angolan National Assembly, highlights women empowerment in India through grassroots democracy. And a Paris court frees former French President Nicolas Sarkozy from jail, pending an appeal. President Draupadi Murmu addressed the Angolan Parliament on Monday during her state visit there. Addressing the Parliament of Angola, the National Assembly, President Murmu said the relationship between India and Angola is based on mutual trust, respect, shared values and economic and social development. The President said both the countries stand together on the international stage. She spoke about the strong parliamentary tradition between the two nations. All right, let's now take you across live to Angola, where the Ministry of External Affairs is addressing a media briefing connected to the President's visit.
I have on dais with me Shri Sudhakar Dalela, Secretary Economic Relations, Ministry of External Affairs, Shri Sevala Naik Mude, Additional Secretary for Central and Western Africa, Ministry of External Affairs, Ms. Manisha Verma, Press Secretary to the Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, and Vidhu Nair, Ambassador of India to Angola. I would now request the Secretary here to brief the media on the Honorable Rashtrapati Ji's visit to Angola. Sir.
Well, good afternoon, friends. Thank you very much, Rajesh, for organizing this media briefing. I think, as most of you are aware, Honorable President arrived in Luanda in the evening of 8th November on a state visit to Republic of Angola. This is the first ever state visit by any head of state from India to Angola. On arrival on the evening of 8th at the International Airport of Angola, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji was received very warmly by the Honorable Minister of External Relations of Angola, His Excellency Mr. Tete Antonio. Yesterday, Honorable President was received at the Presidential Palace by Honorable President of Angola, João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, where she also inspected the Guard of Honor. Following the ceremonial welcome, Honorable President had a tete-a-tete with President Lourenço, which was followed by a delegation-level talks between the two sides. From the Angolan side, there were several cabinet ministers and senior officials present at the talk. From the Indian side, Minister of State for Railways and Jal Shakti, Shri Somanna, and two Member of Parliaments and senior officials participated at the talks. During the discussion, both leaders expressed satisfaction at the growing political exchanges and expansion of bilateral ties between our two countries. The state visit of Honorable President is taking place within the 6 months of the state visit of the President of Angola to Delhi, India, earlier this year in May. And this also reflects the strong and positive momentum in our bilateral ties. Both the leaders reviewed the existing bilateral cooperation in various sectors, including trade and investment, agriculture, health, infrastructure development, capacity building, defense, and also development partnership. They discussed ways to further strengthen and expand our cooperation in these sectors with a shared commitment to sustainable growth and mutual prosperity. Both sides also reiterated their commitment to encourage private sector playing a big role, an important role in advancing India-Angola ties of friendship and cooperation. The discussions were followed by signing an exchange of agreements between the two sides. We have signed 2 MOUs during this visit. One relates to cooperation in fisheries and aquaculture and marine resources. The other relates to consular matters. Both sides have also concluded the discussion and finalized the text of air service agreement between India and Angola. In addition, in terms of specific outcomes, Angola has agreed to join the International Big Cat Alliance and Global Biofuel Alliance, 2 initiatives spearheaded by Government of India. As some of you would know, IBCA focuses on conserving 7 big cat species and their habitats. It also promotes sharing of best practices, funding, research, and expertise to support conservation. The Global Biofuel Alliance aims to accelerate the development adoption of sustainable biofuels as part of the clean energy transition. And we are very happy that Angola has joined these 2 initiatives during this visit. Today, Honorable President addressed the National Assembly of Angola in a special session for the members of Parliament of Angola. She was received at the Parliament building by the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of Angola. Earlier today, Honorable President also visited the memorial of Antonio Agostinho Neto, the first president of Angola, and paid her respects there. She also visited Fortress of St. Michael, the National Museum, earlier today. In the evening today, Honorable President will be interacting with the Indian community at a special event organized by the Indian Embassy, celebrating the contribution of vibrant Indian diaspora to Angola's development and to also India-Angola friendship. Tomorrow, Honorable President will be participating as an honored guest in the celebrations marking the 50th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Angola. As you may recall, when Honorable President of Angola visited India in May this year, he had extended a cordial invitation to Honorable Rashtrapati Ji to participate as a special guest in these celebrations. So, Honorable President will be joining the Honorable President of Angola in this celebration tomorrow morning. As all of you know, this year is a very special year for India and Angola. We are celebrating 40th anniversary or 40 years of establishment of diplomatic relations between our 2 countries. This is also, as I mentioned, the first ever state visit of President of India to Angola. Angola is celebrating 50th anniversary of its independence this year, and President Lourenço also is chairperson of the African Union this year. So for all these purposes, this visit assumes very, very important, I would say, significance. Overall, the visit of Rashtrapati Ji has been a very significant milestone in furthering India-Angola friendship and partnership. With these opening remarks, I'll be very happy to respond to any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now open the floor for question. And before shooting the question, if you can introduce yourself and also the name of your organization. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. This is Dibyendu from Doordarshan. So my question is, we did speak about a lot of cooperation between the 2 countries. Yesterday, we did hear during the press statement as well from the Angolan side that they require cooperation in the health sector as well. What are the other areas or avenues of cooperation between the 2 countries, if you could elaborate?
Well, thank you very much for this question. I think as I mentioned, it has been a remarkable year for India-Angola ties. While we have enjoyed close and long-standing partnership with Angola for several years, but as I said, this year is very special. And during these discussions at the leaders level, both in Delhi and in Luanda yesterday and today, what I would say in terms of concrete areas of cooperation would be 8 or 9, perhaps 10. The first and foremost, of course, is in the area of trade and economic cooperation, which also includes, a range of I would say, sectors in this broad rubric. The second area I would say is our partnership in energy cooperation. As you know, Angola is a very important partner of India for energy security. We do have a substantial imports of energy supplies from Angola, both crude oil and gas. Third area I would say is, as you mentioned, health. President Lorenzo did express an interest in collaborating more with India, knowing the expertise of India in the sector of health. The fourth, I would say, is the area of agriculture. And there also we hope to work together with Angola in the coming months and years to strengthen our partnership, sharing our expertise in the area of agriculture technology, agriculture research with our Angolan friends. In addition, I would say we have also agreed, the leaders have agreed to also strengthen cooperation in the area of defense. As you would remember, during the visit of Angolan President to India, we had announced a line of credit of $200 million US, and we are trying to work together with our Angolan friends to finalize the agreement for this LOC so that our cooperation in this area can move forward. The another area which is also very important for Angola, and where we have had collaboration with Angola in the past, is the area of infrastructure development. President Lorenzo spoke about their desire to expand the railway network in Angola, and our rail companies have worked in the past with Angolan entities, and they would be very happy to share their expertise and technology with Angola in the sector of rail development. Finally, I would say the whole area of connectivity and people-to-people connection. As you know, we have already initialed the text of the air services agreement yesterday, and so connectivity is another important theme that we are focusing on. And lastly, and which is very, very important also, is the area of technology. Honorable President of Angola spoke about space cooperation, seeking partnership in the whole domain of digital public infrastructure, and so we are working in that area also with Angola. So I think these are, I would say, 8 or 9 sectors which are very specific sectors of cooperation which our leaders have identified. And as we go back to India, we would be working internally with all our ministries, stakeholders, industry and private sector to make sure that we maintain this momentum and we encourage them to engage with the Angolan side to take this conversation forward. Thank you.
Any further? Yeah, please.
Sir, I'm Neelab. I work with the Press Trust of India. My question is with regard to the diamond sector. The President did mention that India is a leader in cutting and polishing of diamonds, whereas Angola obviously is a major producer of diamonds. So what is the potential here? And my second question is about the energy sector. So has Angola, because of the global dynamics that we see, Russian oil in context of India, so has Angola committed to increasing some supplies to India or enlarging the basket for us? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for your question. 2 parts of the question. One is on diamond partnership in the sector of diamond, and the other is on energy. So in the area of diamond, as all of you know, Angola is the leading producer of diamond, and they have prospects for increasing their production in the coming years in diamond. And some of the Indian companies have been working with Angolan partners for the last few years. And the area of cooperation includes cutting and polishing of diamonds and procuring raw diamond from Angola. And in our discussion with the leadership of Angola in the last 2 days, what I gathered from them is that their experience of Indian companies working in this sector is very positive. They felt that this model is based on partnership, that Indian companies are not only sort of cutting and polishing in India, but they're trying to also enhance skill in Angola in the area of cutting and polishing. So the leadership was very happy, and they would like to cooperate with us in this framework of collaboration and partnership, where both India and Indian expertise can be harnessed. Also, Angolan capacity can be increased in terms of cutting and polishing. So I do see a very productive and positive, I would say, framework for collaboration in the area of diamonds in the coming years. As regard energy, as I mentioned to you, we have a very robust and vibrant energy partnership with Angola. Angola is our second largest energy supplier from African region, both in the area of crude oil and gas. and our companies are already working very closely with Angolan counterparts. As Angola invests more in this sector, I feel that we can expand our collaboration in the energy sector, both in terms of joint investments and also putting our energy partnership on a more firm footing through long-term arrangements for export and import of energy supplies from Angola. So all in all, I would say that there's a considerable sort of interest in Angola to expand this partnership, and we would be responding very positively as we move forward to strengthen our partnership in the energy sector. The scope is very positive, I would say, and we would like to build upon this partnership in the coming years. Thank you. Please.
Hi, sir. I am Nishant Ketu from ANI. Sir, my question is, how will this visit reinforce India's Africa policy and 10 guiding principle outlined by Prime Minister Modi?
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you asked this question about our larger engagement with Africa and our partnership with the Global South. I would like to say that this visit of Honorable President to Angola and Botswana later on is also a reflection of India's very firm commitment to strengthen partnership with the African continent as a whole. I'm sure all of you are aware that Honorable Prime Minister of India in the Parliament of Uganda had outlined 10 foundational principles of strengthening our partnership with Africa. And Honorable President, in her discussion with the Angolan leadership, did reiterate India's commitment to expand this partnership with Africa as a whole. As you know, President of Angola is the current chairperson of African Union, and Honorable President did mention to her Angolan counterpart that we would like to also host the next edition of India-Africa Forum Summit. And Honorable President of Angola was very forthcoming in his support to make sure that India's partnership with the Africa continues to move forward on the basis of solidarity, mutual respect, and shared development priorities. So I would say that this visit is extremely important for us from larger context of India-Africa engagement also. Thank you.
Yeah, Manish.
Greetings, sir. I am Manish from Akashvani News. My question is to the MOUs which were exchanged yesterday on fisheries, aquaculture and marine resources and consular matters. I would request if you could elaborate a bit on the specific relevance of these sectors vis-a-vis India-Angola relations.
Well, as I mentioned, the MOU on fisheries will focus also on aquaculture and marine resources. The MOU aims to enhance institutional collaboration for sustainable fisheries management and sustainable aquaculture practices. It will also allow us to share our best practices in fisheries and marine resources. So I think this is very important for both India and Angola. I did mention to you about conclusion of discussion on the air services agreement. This will provide us an enabling framework for looking at the possibility in the future of starting flights from Luanda to places in India. And President Lorenzo did express an interest in the direct air connectivity between India and Angola to boost business as well as people-to-people connection between our two countries. We have also signed an agreement on authorizing the dependents of members of diplomatic missions and consular corps to engage in gainful employment. So these are the three MOU we initialed here yesterday. But equally importantly, as I mentioned to you earlier, Angola has also joined the International Big Cat Alliance as well as Global Biofuel Alliance. The Global Biofuel Alliance was established or started during G20 presidency of India in 2023, and several members have already joined this Global Biofuel Alliance, and we are very happy that Angola, during the visit of Honorable President, has agreed and announced its intent to join as full member of this alliance. I must also mention that during the visit of President of Angola to India earlier this year, they had agreed to join the International Solar Alliance as well. So Angola has come forward to partner with India and other members in these very critical areas of cooperation in renewable energy, in conservation and wildlife management, and of course, the Biofuel Alliance. So all these, to my mind, are very significant outcome of this visit, and we would like to build upon these agreements and MOUs. And I think you must have heard yesterday the Honorable President of Angola mentioned that we should now focus on implementation. So the task for all of us, both on the Angolan side or on the Indian side, is to make sure that we continue to engage at different levels, as also encourage the private sector in both countries to engage more and really see how we can collaborate more across sectors. Thank you.
Yeah. Any further questions? Sir, as I see, there is no more request for questions. So, sir, with your permission, now I would like to conclude this special media briefing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. The briefing is over.
Thank you very much.
There you are. That was the Ministry of External Affairs briefing conducted primarily by Sudhakar Darela, Secretary ER of the Ministry of External Affairs, about President Murmu's visit to Angola, the first presidential visit, head of state visit to that African nation, where both the sides have held very fruitful talks, and it has led to not only 2 MOUs, but Angola joining the Big Cat Alliance as well as the Global Biofuel Alliance are 2 of the big takeaways that have taken place. Otherwise, there have been fairly comprehensive talks from defense, as was mentioned when the President of Angola was in India about 6 months back, and also related to other matters as well, including the issue of energy, where Angola is an exporter of energy, both oil and gas, and also diamonds. Now, moving on, President Murmu's next stop is in Botswana, where her state visit will begin from Tuesday. And during a visit, a special symbolic cheetah handover event will be held on Wednesday at the Mokolodi Nature Reserve, where both heads of state will jointly witness the release of cheetahs, which were recently captured in Ghanzi.
India and Botswana share a common vision of wildlife conservation, and it is part of this vision that Botswana is donating 8 cheetahs to India. To talk more on this, I am joined by Dr. Eric. Botswana is considered as the stronghold of cheetahs. Tell us something about the cheetahs in Botswana.
Cheetah, as you know, is vulnerable. There are only about 7,000 individuals, just over 7,000 left in the world. We are very, very fortunate in Botswana and our neighboring country, Namibia, that we are harboring nearly half the world's population of cheetah. And the big threat to cheetah is really space, which brings them into conflict. And we are quite lucky in the sense that both Namibia and Botswana has got space. 65% of our wildlife, and that includes a large part of our cheetah population, actually occur outside our protected areas. And this is the reason why we were actually able to capture these cheetah on game ranches outside protected areas and even wildlife management areas. And then we transported them here, and we are now preparing them for quarantine before they are able to go to India.
So can you tell us about the arrangements being made here about the final cheetah handover event?
It's actually very exciting. I mean, the fact that we are going to host the President of India here, the first time in the history of Botswana, and it's even more appropriate that it is about cheetahs. So what will happen is that His Excellency, the President of Botswana, is going to officially hand over these cheetahs to His Excellency, the President of India. And as part of the ceremony, we are going to release some of these cheetah into the quarantine as a start of quarantine.
Now, India and Bhutan also share a close and friendly relationship. Prime Minister Modi will be on a state visit to Bhutan starting Monday, also on Wednesday. India's ambassador to Bhutan, Sandeep Arya, has spoken with DD India's Shubhendu Ghosh on the significance of the state visit and the areas in focus. Take a look.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to embark on an official visit to Bhutan. To tell us about it, we have with us India's ambassador to Bhutan, Ambassador Sandeep Arya. Ambassador, welcome to DD India.
Thank you.
Now, India and Bhutan are the closest neighbors. We understand that Bhutan is also an important pillar of neighborhood first policy for India. How do you see the significance of Prime Minister's visit?
The visit of the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is taking place at, I think, at a very, very special time. Right now in Bhutan, we have something called Global Peace Prayer Festival, which is going on, which is, I think, also a very unique thing. Bhutanese are calling it an unprecedented event that they are holding. And then we have, of course, bilateral relations and our own various bilateral issues which will come up for discussion. What is also happening is that we have holy relics of Lord Buddha which have come here. This country has very strong traditions and belief in Buddhist belief system, the faith, etc. And I think it will really be very good from the perspective of our outreach to the people and participating in many of these festivities.
India and Bhutan also share a very important development partnership. There is a mega hydropower project, P2 as we understand, is going to be inaugurated. How does that take this very special partnership to the next level?
So Bhutan is a country of a moderate size, and for their own economy, I think they are basically hydropower plays a very, very important role. A large part of their GDP production and their exports comprise of hydropower. So this is a 1020 megawatt hydropower project which has been in the making. It's a government to government project. So it has been conceived by the two governments, has been developed also in close cooperation by the two governments. I think it will really mark a very important, very big jump in the hydropower generation. And it's good for the economy of Bhutan. It's good for India in terms of gaining power or electricity.
Ambassador, also if you talk about people-to-people ties, what can you tell us about the capacity building program that India is engaged in, especially for the youth of Bhutan? We learned about the Gyaltsang program. If you can tell us more on that.
So I think our overall profile of development cooperation and economic cooperation between the two countries is very, very broad. We take part in many very wide-ranging activities from education, healthcare, agriculture, and even trade, manufacturing, etc. So I think it's a very broad base on which we are very closely involved. Our bilateral trade itself comprises about 80% of all the foreign trade of Bhutan, so which means we are a very important partner for export and import. And I think coming back to the Gyaltsang program itself, I think which is a very important vision of His Majesty the King of Bhutan. He conceived it a few years ago, and he has conceived it as a program for the purpose of, I think, all the youth in Bhutan to be having, I think, several components are there. One is a little bit of connection with the country. And so there is a brief training of general skills, general kind of awareness, a little bit of basic defense skills also. Then there are specialized skills in different areas which can be based on the area of interest of the person. It can be in the fields like, civilian, semi-skilled things, and sometimes medicine related activities, etc. So it's conceived as a 1-year course which every 18-year-old in Bhutan should try to undertake.
So thank you very much for speaking with DD India. That's Ambassador Sandeep Arya speaking to us on the broad significance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming visit to Bhutan. With camera person Saurabh, Shubhendu Ghosh for DD India in Thimphu.
And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen and download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.